We start with the verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prayena Alpayushah Sabhya Kalavasmin Yuge Janah Mandah Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Hu Padrutaha, where age of Kali, uh, which is the age of quarrel, people are very restless and quarrelsome. So we should stay away from them. We have seen that even for a small thing, people get so angry and it becomes a big flashpoint, leading sometimes to momentary madness. Anger is just one letter short of danger. I have seen sometimes that in a fit of rage, people incur big losses also. I have seen one student which, while talking to somebody else, was so angry that he broke his mobile, and not only he broke the mobile, but he also broke relationship with his friend. So we see that anger sometimes destroys a lot of things in family, with friends, in professional life too, and uh, we see that wars have also been raged by somebody's uncontrolled anger. So that was the four topics which we covered. The two of them we covered in the last episode, and the last two which we will be covering today. We saw that anger is an intense emotion in response to perceived threat. What is perceived threat? Is the it's the why perceived? Because the emotional surges like the irritation, frustration, annoyance, and other such emotions, they have the surges in our mind, and because of this surge, we sometimes become very angry. uh, it is perceived, it may not be real. So we need to see the complete story behind before we get angry. We saw that our unfulfilled expectation is the root cause of getting angry. Sometimes we have very unrealistic expectations from others. We think that everybody should respect me, love me, treat us fairly, do not cheat me, and in most of cases we feel that we are right, which is not possible. There are three kinds of people: one who are favorably disposed to us, the second who are neutral, and the third who are unfavorably opposed. So we have to be realistic in situations and in facing such people. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "Tam titikshasva bharata," which means tolerate, don't get disturbed. We have this saying that if something cannot be cured, it has to be endured. So when we get angry, as an and the impression of getting angry is in our minds, then slowly we may develop a habit, and that habit is called krodha sanskar. Of course, it does more damage to the self than others. It's like carrying the hot charcoal in our hand and trying to throw it on somebody else, but it hurts us first. Uh, on the management side, we saw that if anger could be controlled, then it could be used for some good purposes. And it could be controlled if our intelligence is in control of our anger. If it is not, then it becomes very destructive. If we keep grudge against somebody in our mind, instead of keeping intelligence, it is the grudge against that person which is in our mind. So uh, we discussed that anger could be used for beneficial purposes like self-reformation, to jolt someone out of ignorance, and of course to defend principles of dharma, which means that when we see certain injustice or brutality being committed against somebody helpless, then if we are not angry, then we are apathetic, we are lethargic in dealing with that situation. So in such cases, it is good. We saw that the controlling, enjoying, and perfectionist mentality are the starting points. A lot of times we make an attempt to control our failures also. Nobody wants to fail. And that attempt is the cause of most of our emotional upsets. We may control our finances, situations, people around us as per our wish, and without anybody's interference. So if it doesn't happen, we are angry. Of course, we try to enjoy as as the way we want, and if somebody something goes wrong in between, we are angry. And of course we want to see everything perfect without us being so. So we could be the starting point could be just a small disturbance, then it leads to irritation, of course to anger, and then finally to resentment. We saw that people can explode or implode when they are angry. Explode is like lava coming out of the volcano, and it destroys a lot of people, lot of things, lot of our relationships. And when people suppress, it drives the anger inside, and resentment develops in their subconscious. They could have some body problems, and deep resentment to a point of being sadistic also. We saw through this verse that the that anger arises because of our deep excessive desire to get something, which we call as lust. So let's today get into how to control anger when we are angry. And I will just explain this picture where you can see there are 5 horses with the reins to control them, and there is a charioteer, uh, and then there is a passenger sitting on the chariot. So here the chariot represents our body, the charioteer is our intelligence, the senses are the 5 horses, the reins is our mind, and the passenger is our soul. So ideally, the passenger should be in control of the charioteer, and the charioteer should have the reins intact to control the horses. So our soul should be in control of our intellect, and intellect should be in control of mind, and the mind should be in control of our senses. But what happens that when our senses, because of the lust, through seeing the material things, the senses go haywire, then the charioteer, which is our intellect, loses control of the reins, which is our mind, and then things go not as per plan, and we become angry. So there are certain points which I have listed down. Number one is of course, as we saw, that give up unreasonable expectations. Don't expect too much from people. We should be practical and realistic in what we are expecting. The second is to listen. Listen, get the facts right. I know 2 students who were very fast friends, and some others which they were not happy of the bonding which these 2 guys had. They started spreading rumors, and without fact checking, these friends started suspecting each other, and a beautiful relationship was broken. So when we land up in situations, we should get the facts right, and we can get the facts right just by listening. So we should listen first before saying anything. Then we have to define what is important in our lives. We should remain equipoised in success and failure. I read about a girl in south of India. I think it was in Chennai, where she scored 94% in her 12th grade, but she failed to clear the NEET examination to get into the medical college, and she committed suicide. In the note, she said she cannot face her family and friends. So what I mean to say, you students, you need to define what is important to you. Academics is just a small part, and we have so many other things to engage us. It could be sports, it could be some other hobbies which we can excel in and take up as our profession. So don't be disappointed. Uh, Avoid unhealthy comparison, which means that our intention should be that we should not compare ourselves with anybody and everybody. Uh, we are if we meet somebody who is successful and experienced, we should learn from him. And if we meet people who are junior, who are not experienced, then we should help them. So unnecessarily avoiding this comparison, which is unhealthy, can lead us to a situation where we can get angry. The next is have vision of the self, who you are, and not what other people are thinking about you. Believe in yourself. Then Of course, you should not be driven by prejudices. You have to see the sunny side of people. Uh, Whatever people, a lot of times we see that we are driven by what other people say of somebody else. So we should have the first-hand information. We should have the facts checked on what others are saying and believe in what we are experiencing. Of course, uh, there is a karma angle of what we are getting. So if our expectations are not fulfilled, that means that we don't deserve it, and if we don't deserve it, we will not get it. So that is the karma angle. uh, our lives has so many things which we either enjoy or suffer because of our past karma. So we can have this aspect also to control our anger. Think twice, delay your action, learn in situations. Uh, uh, if you are angry, don't speak. Otherwise, it could be the best speech you would regret in your life. So delay the action. Uh, uh, every situations we are in, we can learn out of it. So don't just blurt it out. Dissociate yourself also. Sometimes we can just laugh it out, make the situation easy. Engage yourself in some other work, which means when you are angry, don't think only about the situation which has made you angry. You can engage yourself to reading a book or talking to somebody else. Dissociate yourself. That will bring down the temper. uh, of course, being spiritual, I will advise to do certain meditation to keep your mind calm. Uh, if you are spiritual, then you understand that you are much bigger than the irritants in this material world. So, meditation, if you do it regularly, it calms your mind and it will connect to yourself. It also teaches you that we have to live with others as we have to live as in coexistence with others. So that's also a good insight of controlling anger. And of course, if nothing works, just pray to the Lord that it is beyond my control, and He will definitely take care of it. Uh, when others are angry, don't try to suppress other person's anger. uh, don't mock, because mocking can sometimes irritates other people more. Don't mirror other person's anger, which means if somebody is angry, don't get angry as to balance it out. That doesn't help. And of course, empathize with the problems the other person has, because if you empathize, then you can really look from his angle why he is irritated or why he is not behaving as per your expectations. Listen actively, very important. And it also happens that when provocation comes, we may not be able to follow the sublime instructions which we went through, and we act very instinctively, compelled by our nature, and we can get angry. However, later on, we can go to that person and apologize. We can beg for forgiveness. This also means that the relationships are more important than we getting angry. And of course, if none of these things helps, just pray to the Lord that it is beyond my control. I will just end with this verse from Bhagavad Gita, where it says that how our anger destroys us. So, krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhrama, smriti bhramshat buddhi naso, buddhi nashat pranashyati, which means from anger, delusion arises, and from delusion, our memory gets bewildered. When our memory is bewildered, we lose our intelligence, and when the intelligence is lost, buddhi nashat pranashyati, then the person is destroyed. He falls down again into the material pool. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope this is beneficial to you in controlling your anger. I look forward to your feedback, and see you next week. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.